Let me tell you, I never thought my life would flip upside down in a coffee shop on a freezing Tuesday morning, but if you ever doubt how much a single, quiet moment can change your whole world, well, you might want to sit down for this. There I was, Lucas Blake, 35 years old, king of my own cold little empire, staring into a cup of espresso I didn't even want, trying to convince myself that loneliness was just another kind of strength, when this tiny voice piped up, barely louder than the music humming through the place. "Can I sit here?" That's all it took. A kid, just a little girl, pink hat slipping over her barely there hair, clutching a threadbare teddy, eyes so big and tired it hurt to look at her straight on, asking me, of all people, if she could take a seat. You know what I mean? I hadn't said yes to anything real in years, but I nodded and slid the chair out because, well, something in her reminded me of my boy, Ethan, the softness, that glimmer of hope fighting against the odds, and I just couldn't turn her away. Not today. So I wrapped my scarf around her shoulders, not even thinking, and watched her climb onto the chair like it was Everest. She pats her teddy. "This is Hope," she says, voice a little shaky but brave. She's tired too. I nearly lost it right there. And before I can pull myself together, her mom rushes over, panic written all over her, apologizing, reaching for the girl Lily. She calls her, and I can see how hard life's been for them. The worn boots, the mismatched mittens, the kind of exhaustion you can't fake. She's embarrassed, wants to leave, but I just nod, quietly, not wanting to make it worse. They disappear into the snow, leaving my coffee cold, my heart even colder, and my scarf draped over the back of that empty chair like a piece of me had been left behind. Days go by, but I can't shake them from my head. For 3 years, I'd built walls higher than my penthouse, told myself that burying love and grief under work was the answer, that feeling nothing was better than risking more pain, but that little girl cracked something open, you know? One morning, I find myself wandering through Central Park, just walking, breathing, try to remember what hope feels like, and there she is, Lily, spinning on a merry-go-round, cheeks flushed, her mom, Emma, watching close by with that quiet strength. Lily spots me, runs over yelling, "Scarf Man," like it's the best title in the world, and suddenly I'm not invisible anymore. We sit, the three of us, on that worn bench, passing ice cream cones back and forth in the middle of winter because, as Lily says, ice cream's still ice cream. That's when Emma tells me about the fight, the hospitals, the chemo, the father who couldn't handle it, her dreams of teaching swapped out for 2 jobs and sleepless nights. There's no bitterness, just a kind of tired courage that knocks the wind out of me. I tell her about Ethan and Claire, how I lost them both, how guilt and regret have been my only companions since. And she just listens, rests her hand on mine, and suddenly the ache isn't so sharp. Lily's a little whirlwind, one day, singing to her bear, the next slumped silent from the chemo, but always she bounces back. I find myself showing up at the cafe every morning, drawn there like gravity, sometimes with muffins or little gifts. Once, a teddy bear in a doctor's coat that she names DR. Bear, for the day's pancakes, need to be medicine. Emma softens, starts sitting closer, and before I know it, we're sharing stories, dreams, and for the first time in forever, I feel needed. Then the twist hits one morning. Lily's shivering, burning up with fever. Emma's terrified. Without thinking, I scoop Lily up, rush them to the ER, wait out the endless hours under those harsh hospital lights. When the news comes that she'll be okay, just a side effect of treatment, relief floods through me. I try to help quietly, behind the scenes, pay off the hospital bill, thinking it'll lighten her load. But Emma finds out, storms into my office, angry, proud, hurt. "I didn't ask you to fix us," she says, and I realize I cross a line. I couldn't save my family, Emma, but maybe I could help yours. For a second, her anger flickers, and I think we understand each other, but she leaves without another word. If you think that's the end, think again. 2 days later, the tabloids hit pictures of me, Emma, and Lily splashed all over the internet, headlines calling it a charity stunt. She thinks I used her for PR. She blocks my number, won't answer the door, and for the first time since Claire died, I feel truly lost. I wander my penthouse like a ghost, end up sitting in Ethan's untouched room, reading his favorite book out loud to the empty air, choking on every word. But in that silence, something shifts. I realize what I feel for Emma isn't pity, or even just gratitude, it's love. Scary, quiet, real love. And that means not giving up. Here's the thing about hope, it's stubborn. Just as I'm finding my courage, Lily pulls her own twist. She sneaks out, clutching hope and a note, rides the city bus by herself to the coffee shop to find her scarf man. Emma's frantic, calls me, and I'm out the door in seconds. The sight of Lily, alone, waiting for me on that bench, nearly undoes me. Emma shows up, crying, and I tell her, "You don't have to do this alone anymore." This time, she listens. She lets me in. For real. We start building something together, not fast, not perfect, just real. Day trips to farms, story hours at hospitals, starting a foundation for families like Emma and Lily. We work side by side, learn each other's strengths, make mistakes, laugh, argue, fall harder every day. Then, just as I start to believe in this new life, Lily relapses. Late night calls, another ambulance, more ICU waits, the whole world narrowing to a hospital room and the hope in a little girl's eyes. I pull every string I have, bring in specialists, sit by Emma's side, hold her when she breaks. When the doctors finally tell us Lily's going to make it, we don't even celebrate, just hold each other, grateful for another day. Recovery is slow, but different this time. Emma and Lily move in with me. My mansion feels like home for the first time since I bought it. Every morning, Lily bursts into the kitchen shouting, "Lucas, I'm still alive." And I realize, so am I. 1 year passes. Lily's hair grows back. Her laughter fills the park. Emma's hand finds mine without fear. We walk past the little cafe one day, the place where it all began, and I guide them inside. At the old table by the window, I drop to one knee, hands shaking, and ask Emma to marry me. No fancy speech, no crowd, just the three of us, a ring, and the question that started it all, "Can I sit here?" She says yes, through tears and laughter, and Lily squeals, "You're going to be my daddy for real?" People in the cafe clap, sunlight pours through the window, and for a moment, the world holds its breath. I wish I could tell you that was the end, that all pain disappeared, but real life isn't that neat, you know? There will be more storms, more doubts, but also more hope, more laughter, more reasons to fight. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the greatest stories aren't about the victories, but about the questions, the risks we take, the cheers we offer, the love we dare to accept, even after loss. So what do you think? Does everyone deserve a second chance at family, at love, at hope? Or is that just a fairy tale we tell ourselves on cold mornings over coffee? Let me know down in the comments, because this story, like life, only gets richer when we share what's real. If you felt something today, share your thoughts on what family means, what justice is, and how kindness can change a life. Who knows, the next person asking, "Can I sit here?" might just need you to say yes.